All right. Welcome back to the channel. I'm David Otunga, Harvard educated attorney, former WWE superstar, and your attorney at Raw. Today's witness has reinvented himself more than almost anyone I know. An NCAA All American, former world heavyweight champion, a Money in the Bank winner, an ECW champion, a Bellator heavyweight, and now he's testing his chin in one of the fastest growing combat sports in the world, Powerslap. Now, we came up together in FCW, shared locker rooms, watched each other chase the same dream, and somehow, nearly 20 years later, we're both still finding new ways to challenge ourselves. So, at this time, I'd like to welcome today's witness, my friend Jake Hager. What's up, bro?
Hey, what's up, David? Thanks for having me on.
Man, I'm glad you could make it. Yeah, no, definitely. It was cool. Where did I see we were in Vegas, I think, at WrestleCon. We
That
got
was the
to,
first time in probably 6 years, right?
man, something like that. You know,
Yeah.
it's cool because like whenever like I'm away from the business or away from people, and then like we meet up or something, it's like we pick up right where we left off. Like,
It really is. It really is. It's such a tight brotherhood. We spend so many days of the year together, traveling, eating the same shit in the trenches. It really does form a brotherhood to where, like, like it put a smile on my face. I had to look twice because you had these big Gucci sunglasses on, but I was there he is.
yeah, no, I feel you. Man, you're right. And the brotherhood and the traveling, the road meals, man, you name it. Like it's the little things that most fans don't realize, like the wrestlers that we go through and the bond that we build and stuff. But yeah, man, there's so much to talk about. Yo, we got to start. We got to start with Power Slap, man.
Let's
Now,
go.
yeah, now I saw the knockout. I got to ask first, like, how are you feeling, bro?
Yeah, I feel good. Honestly, I feel like I took less damage this fight than I did the first fight. Um, Brother has a good stroke. I was winning the fight first 2 rounds, and honestly, after watching it back, I realized that I rushed to the box to make him rush and get less recovery time. But I rushed setting up my defense, setting up my chin in the proper way, and then I was late to brace. And bracing is a really important part of your defensive strategy on it, and so. Rookie mistake, lesson learned. Was done in front of a big crowd, so it stings a little bit. But like you know me, dude, you can't keep me down. I don't listen to the internet, and I just keep going. Like the silver lining is no injuries, and I get more views when I get knocked out. So maybe I'll do it again.
Uh, yeah, no, definitely. I know you're gonna come back even stronger, and it was exciting too. I thought you had him, and I mean, you definitely rocked him, and we're winning it. But yo, tell me about how you got into this one, and then I want to talk about like the technical aspects. But like, how did you get involved in Power Slap?
Yeah, well, if you think about it, like it's very adjacent to pro wrestling. It's very adjacent to MMA combat. It's kind of a mixture of both because you can pretty much say whatever you want. You can be your own character. There's no going to creative and asking for permission to be a character. Power Slap wants you to be that. They want you to be entertaining, and they also want you to be impactful, in a certain way. So it's really cool the mix of both worlds for me. And honestly, like I feel like I was made for it. Like I've never had a neck. It's always been short, so it's hard to move. You know me, I'm stubborn, I'm hard headed, and I really enjoy flipping the switch. So the way I got into it is Sin Bodie. I've known Sin almost as long as I've
Yeah,
known you from developmental, and he works at Power Slap. He's pretty much talent relations there. Him and another guy, and he kind of made it a point to pitch to the bosses like, "Hey, pro wrestlers would be good for this." And he called me about a year ago. It was April of 25, and I had just injured my shoulder, so I couldn't do anything. But I always kept it in the back of my head. And I watched it. And I watched it grow. Last NFL season, Powerslap did more YouTube numbers than the NFL on YouTube. So like
Wow.
it's just exploding, and people still don't really know exactly what kind of sport it is, and they love to blast it. But we'll get to that in a second. And so then in January, I called Cena. I was like, hey, my shoulder's healed up. Let me come check this out. I went to a show in March. And David, I was blown away. Like just attending one of the shows live, it's so much fun. And I'm not just saying that to sell tickets, it's unreal. Like you can hear the violence, like you feel the slap because you can hear it come off their face. And so it's a really unique experience, and it really captures the short attention span of YouTube users, and so it kind of fits perfect there. Really cool. So after I saw that, I was hooked, and then I trained for about 3 months for the first one, 3 months for the second one, and it's it's MMA combat adjacent. But
Yeah. No, you're right. And like I think it's brilliant, especially like for today and like in clip culture and social media, because you can catch like the highlights or watch the rounds like on social media and really get a feel for the match. It's very different from like a wrestling match where you have to watch, an entire 5-10 minutes or whatever it is and tell the story. Where in
mhm.
this, like you get it and it's right away. But talk so okay, you say you trained 2 months for the first one or whatnot. What does the training entail? Like, what does that look like? How do you
so you
train?
have So you have offensive training and you have defensive training. Defensive training is like neck strengthening, jaw exercise strengthening, um, really just getting ready for that brace, and practice the timing. Like you can see your opponent's timing. Does he have a slow wind up? Does he have a fast wind up? Well, in between that wind up, you have to get to yourself in brace because you want to time it so you're not holding it, so you're as strong as possible. Um, and then offensive training, I look at it like shooting free throws, like a golf swing. You just do it over and over again. You find your stroke, and you perfect it. And then like you you videotape everything on offense, and then you watch. Did my feet move? Where did I make contact? Did I follow through? Follow through is one of the biggest keys to a knockout. Um,
Mhm.
you see the guys with the really good-looking strokes, guys like Johnny Magna, Stunt Marshall, Brian Scambler, um, Brandon Bordeaux. Like they have a great follow-through. It almost looks like a rainbow when they swing. And so that's my next step is to work on my follow-through and get more power, so I don't have to take 3 slaps next time.
I hear that, man. And you got crazy long arms, like a giant wingspan. I remember too, and big ass hands. So I'm sure all of that factors in. Another question. So, do you practice with both hands? Like, so you can like say something you hurt one hand in it. Do you practice like with the left also and the right, whatever your non-dominant hand is?
Yeah, yeah, and I've actually both fights I've gone with my non-dominant hand because my right is still kind of my right is healed, but like on the second fight, I was like, let me just stick with what I did in the left one. I feel very confident with my accuracy on that, and it's definitely accuracy over power. So, like, I feel like I have hands, not just hand. So I'm confident using both, but I think a lot of people do train both, and it's also like you can use it as a strategy too. You can go like right on one and then left on two, and it messes with their defense a little bit. And in the bigger matches, I think you'll see guys do more elaborate strategies when it comes to offense.
Yeah, yeah. No, definitely. So like what do you think it takes like to succeed and be at the top of Power Slap? Like cuz I know it's like you were saying like it's pro wrestling adjacent and definitely, the technique and if you're stroke and if you're knocking guys out, but like as we know like from pro wrestling, it isn't just all that. Like it's charisma, it's your character. Like where how do you see that tying into the sport?
Yeah, I mean, they definitely want young professionals or older professionals that power slap. They don't want people who are going to embarrass the sport or embarrass, other fighters or embarrass themselves by acting up or not being a professional. So that's the main thing. I know they really look forward, look at how fighters act during the week. Are you a diva? Are you complaining a lot, or do you just go with the flow and do what they ask, type deal? So I think that's a big part about any job that you have, is like how you handle other people, communication, relationships, how you ask for things, and how you speak when you disagree. But also with Power Slap, like, you could think that you can take a shot, but you're gonna find out. It's like, really, that's what it comes down to, is like, if you can take a shot. I believe I can. I believe I've proven that, regardless of the results of my last fight. But like, how strong is your chin? How many? It's kind of like a bump card. How many times has your bump card been punched? How many times have you been knocked out? Because your chin can only take so many. Just like wrestling, our backs can only take so much. And then a big part of it is you really have to like to go to that other place and smile. You got to like enjoy flipping the switch and like, I have permission to hurt this person for the next 10 minutes, and honestly, like, I think that's one of my biggest strengths, is like, I really enjoy going to that place. I really enjoy the competition of it. Definitely need to remain calm. There's a lot of people talking trash up there, wanting to be characters. There's a time and a place to talk trash, and that's after you win, not during the fight. But those aspects come into it. Like, you got to be a certain type of person. You got to have a strong neck. You got to have a strong jaw. You need to be athletic. A lot of it is the power is generated from your hips, because you can't move your feet. You can't twist on a left hook or pivot through on a right hand in power slap. You have to keep your feet planted. And so a lot of it comes from your hips. And so, like, as you know, playing football or wrestling, like, that's where the power comes from, is like,
Right.
you can have the biggest biceps in the world, but if you can't bring your hips, you're not knocking me over. And so I, give a lot of credit to Division I football. I'm Schmitty built. Shout out Jerry Schmidt, the Oklahoma men's football Division I strength conditioning coach. I'm rambling, sorry, but
No, you good.
I always try to get him in there because I'm proud alum. But that's about it. That's what I would look for. There's certain people that just come on stage and you see their slap and you're like, wow, just wow.
Man. So okay. I mean, you've done a lot in like combat sports, Division I wrestler, MMA. Bro, you've been punched, kicked, suplexed. I mean, what surprised you the most though about getting slapped? Like, after going through all that other stuff.
Man, there really, like, is no stage like Power Slap. The bright lights are very similar. The crowd reactions are very similar. I love it all. Like, I play to it. It's great. Um, but when you're up there on stage and you're defenseless, it's a defenseless combat sport.
Yeah.
It's a different feeling where you just got to know, like, you ain't knocking me out. Even though I got knocked out, but that ain't gonna happen again. But it's really cool, like, because you can just hear it, you feel it. Honestly, I feel like they don't hurt. Like, they may leave a bruise, but it doesn't hurt. Even on the knockout, it doesn't hurt. Um, it's just different the way. I think the crowd is so, like, brand new to it. Their reactions are so much greater. To the knockouts, to the big blows, and they really get into it. And I think if you can play to them in certain ways, they'll get behind you.
Yeah, definitely. Man, that's some I want to go check out a live show. Um, so tell me this then. What's harder, taking a power slap or one of Big Show's chops?
Oh my god,
Uh,
I'm I'm gonna be honest. I think one of Big Show's chops is pretty
Wow.
much up there. Is he mad at me or are we cool? Is the question.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out to Show, man.
Yeah.
I took plenty of those. He's somebody, man, he could do well in the sport, maybe. How do you think Big Show would do with his size and frame?
I mean, he would definitely be one of the biggest super heavyweights in there. He'd definitely be the tallest. They got guys 400 pounds in there right now, and they're scary. They're definitely scary. I made sure that there was two heavyweight weight classes before I signed on the line. I was like, there's guys bigger than me, right? Super heavyweight. I was like, okay, I'm staying down here.
I like that. Um, but bro, man, like I was telling you, like when I first saw you were doing this, like I popped so hard. I saw, I think it was Instagram or something. I was like, oh shit. And like, you're perfect for this. And so I started watching, and like I was telling you, like one of the things that always stuck out to me is like you remind me of myself in a certain way. It's like you're never afraid to like reinvent yourself and become a beginner again. And I think that's awesome. Like going from amateur wrestling to WWE to MMA, now Powerslap. Like, what what do you think it is that that lets you be comfortable in those situations, or that drives you to keep reinventing yourself and trying new things?
Oh man, thank you. I feel like that's a great compliment, especially for one of the boys in the back. Um, to be honest, when I was younger, I wasn't the greatest athlete. I had to learn.
Really? Wow.
I had to learn how to be coached. And so
Okay.
because I wasn't the greatest athlete, I needed coaching. And luckily I grew up in a town that had really good coaching. And so I feel like from an early age, I learned how to like shut up, listen, and just do something over and over and over again until I got good at it. And, success in high school, turned me into a better athlete. And then I was able to take that into at the University of Oklahoma. I started at football, was doing okay. Then I wanted to switch to wrestling, and I was able to switch sports like that. Just because I just like I could go into a place, I could sit down, I'm like, teach me the rules. Okay, now I'm gonna beat you because I'm gonna do it over and over again. And I've done that. Like when I left WWE to go into professional MMA, I didn't have any amateur fights. I just relied on my college background wrestling career. Like amateur wrestling in college is very similar to MMA without punches. So one thing kind of just built to the other and built to the other. And honestly, like the one bit of confidence that I get is from going live on Monday nights for pro wrestling. Because if you can go on live television, especially in your spandex, you can do anything. You can take that confidence anywhere. Because like I don't think people understand the pressure that you're under to make your segment time, to get your spot in, to get your moment, to, the whole point of the whole segment is to have that moment to get somebody over. You want to nail that. It's a lot to do in like 9 minutes. And so I take that confidence everywhere. I took it to MMA. If you saw me, I was smiling when they closed the cage door because I knew I was about to have a lot of fun. And so it just kind of built and built and built. And now I'm at the point to where I just know I'm going to perform at a high level. Did I perform at the highest level at my last fight? No, I made a mistake. But I know I'm going to perform at a high level every time I go on to any stage now because I know how to be coached. I know what to look for. And dude, I just want to win. Like I hate losing. I hate losing even more than I love winning. And so uh, I don't know. I got that dog in me. I guess I should put on some houndstooth.
Definitely. Bro, I love hearing this. So, and this is great advice, like for any athlete coming up, whether it be a professional wrestler, somebody trying to get into MMA, somebody who plays football or basketball. But it's what you said about, you like you said, you weren't even the best athlete, but it's learning the basics and the fundamentals and just repetition after repetition. And then eventually, like it builds that confidence. You can take that anywhere because it's like building self-discipline. And man, I feel the same way. Like after being in WWE and learning like how that works and everything that you have to do in a match, hitting your times, getting the moment, getting yourself over. Like you may have a promo, impromptu promo, and if a spot doesn't work, you may have to improvise. Like that is easily, one of the hardest things I've ever done. But man, it builds competition, or it builds confidence. I'm sorry, that you can take into anything. And in
Yeah.
any other competition where, like, I feel you, like, then when you're in MMA, you step into the cage, you just have to compete against somebody. You don't have to worry about hitting the times or the hard cam or anything like that. Man, I think that's just such great and valuable advice. Like how early did that start? Did that start when you were learning football, or like when you started wrestling, like when you were younger?
Um, I always had a passion for wrestling. I admired my two cousins, and they were about 10 years older than me, and they were badass wrestlers from North Dakota. I moved to Oklahoma when I was 4, so like I already had the bug. I happened to move to the wrestling capital of the world, Perry, Oklahoma. More state titles than any sport across any school of any size in high school in America, flex. Um, and I, like I don't remember when it was. It was probably in junior high when I was struggling, and the high school coach was a 3-time All-American from Nebraska. The assistant coaches were great, but they were college coaches that we had in junior high because he was from Perry. And so there was no punches being pulled. If you sucked, you had to hear that you sucked, and more than likely you heard about it in front of the whole team. And so I think, going out there competing, giving it your all, and then coming back and having to listen to the mistakes you made is a real character building thing about professional sports. Um, like the wrestling mat doesn't lie, the football field doesn't lie, the basketball court doesn't lie. The results are the results. And like, if you're not happy with them, then you need to, find a way to change it. And sometimes, like, listening to your coach and hearing the hard things is the hardest thing to do, but it's also probably the best thing that you can do. Because I always took it from my wrestling coaches, and I tell my kids this today. They're like, I'm like, how's coach? And they're like, she's mean. She's honest all the time. I go, that's because she cares. If she said nothing, she doesn't care. She's just floating through practice. She doesn't care. If they're yelling at you and they want you to do something better, they care. That's a sign of a good coach. And so I think about seventh grade, I realized, like, hey, shut up, listen. And then I saw results and just kept on believing in them, you know.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, it's carried you far, that's for sure. Um, okay, so let me ask you about this. So, how did you make the jump from amateur wrestling in NCAA to then developmental and eventually getting into WWE's developmental system? How did that happen?
Yeah. So my last year in college, I was a Division I All American. I knew Jerry Briscoe and Jim Ross.
Okay.
From like my sophomore year on in college, we would have dinners at each other's houses, barbecue with me and other guys, and they always said, "Hey, when you get a degree, give us a call, and you can have a tryout." And so it was like January 05, no, '06. I'm sorry, and I'm like, I got a degree in finance, and I'm like just doing every job interview I can as a fresh kid out of college, and it's all like 40, $30,000 annual salaries, and it's supposed to be in the finance field, and I'm like, oh my god, and I kind of had put joining WWE out of my mind because I just got the degree, I just graduated, I thought like I better go this route. And then I didn't like anything, so I called them. They set up a trial at Deep South in Atlanta. I flew out there for a week. I got the job the next week. I moved everything from Oklahoma to Atlanta in a month, and that was the summer of '06. And you know, I had a weigh in. A lot of times it's the people you know and not what you know. I was brand new to it. I've been to wrestling shows, but like the first time I rolled into a ring at Deep South, it was the first time I'd done it. Um, but like it was cool. Deep South was great for me because we were doing 2-a-days. It was Bill DeMott and fuck, he's gonna kick my ass. I can't remember his name. I'll get back to it. But we were doing 2-a-days, and so it was great for me. I'd never been in a wrestling ring, so I'm just learning technique. We're not worrying about shows or working a crowd part of it. And I did that for 6 months straight. We had a couple shows. I was pretty bad, and then in January of '07, moved to Louisville for OVW. Was there for 6 months under Al Snow and Danny Davis, Robert Gibson. They even had Dr. Death, Steve Williams come work with me. Like, what an honor.
Wow.
Got the tag team with Doc at Six Flags in Louisville. It's
That's
a great
dope.
photo. It's a great photo. And so I was there for 6 months, and they were running shows 4 days a week, like all over Ohio, Kentucky. And so that was like the next phase, learning the crowd, live event type stuff, telling stories. And then after that, FCW started, and it was a combination of everything: Steve Kern, Dr. Tom Pritchard, Dusty Rhodes, Norman Smiley, Billy Kidman. I mean, it was a who's who of coaches that they had down there. Um, my favorite FCW story, though, is when like I was still like, no, I'm a tough guy. I'm just wearing black biker shorts. I can't be a character. And like Steve Kern had told me multiple times, he's like, change your gear, kid. And I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And so it was like the third time he had told me to do it. And so I hadn't done it. And so we would film our matches so we could watch it the next day in front of the whole class. And so when my match came on, he just zoomed in on my crotch and my gear and just filmed my gear the entire match. And, that's an old school way. That's a great way of getting your point across. And it definitely, I was at the gear lady that day, that afternoon.
Oh man, shout out to those guys, Steve Kern. Oh man, those guys were great. So what was your first reaction like getting to FCW? And then like you think back, like yo, it was a who's who of coaches, but it was also a who's who of talent. Like at that time, like everybody for the most part, like not everybody, because there's a lot of people who didn't make it, but like even in the time like I shared that I got there in 2008. But man, yourself was there, Sheamus, Drew McIntyre, the guys from the Shield ended up being there a little bit after me.
Bella,
But what was just
Bella twins were there.
our twins? Yep.
Yeah. There was a bunch of divas that came out there. I would say when I was there, we had like 3 rings and they were pretty much full. So, we probably had like 45 to 60 people there, I would say. And I would say at least half of them had a TV career, right?
Seems like it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you have your handful of people who I remember being there, like there's your handful of people who were like, wait, why are they here? Like there was the one guy, Gustav. I don't know if you remember him. Ty Bailey found this guy from, I can't remember where he was from, somewhere in South America, I think. And he apparently had lied on his application and said he was a 3rd generation wrestler. He'd been working for years. And then when he got there, the first thing he did, they asked him to run the ropes, and he went to hit the ropes the first time, fell through the ropes and fell out of the ring, like onto the floor. Like this was, I think you might have been on the road. He clearly had never worked before, and it was so wild. Like he almost seemed like a comedy character. Like this was Curb Your Enthusiasm or something. Like they sent him there just to mess with us, or Candid Camera. But yeah, anyway. That being said, it took them about, I don't know, 2 months before they realized, all right, they made a mistake and they had to let the guy go. So yeah, there was the mix of super there he is. There's a mix of super talented guys, and then you had the guys who weren't necessarily so talented. This dude was a nice guy, but like he didn't. And actually, that's probably the best I've seen his physique look, to be honest.
Hey, my neighbor's a nice guy. Doesn't mean he belongs in the fucking business.
Exactly. Oh man, yeah. There's a number of fellas
Yeah.
like that.
Oh, I
Oh,
remember the name. I don't remember the face now that you pull it up there, but I remember the name for sure.
Gustav was a legend, an absolute legend, though. Oh my gosh. But talk about like the coaches. Like what do you remember about working with Dusty Rhodes? Because to me, that was always one of the coolest experiences, is just getting to learn, from Dusty and promo class and stuff. But what was that like for you?
Oh man, I mean, definitely an honor. I mean, you just have to say his name. He's probably Mount Rushmore in the wrestling world. I can remember once I was up on TV, and he was backstage for a Raw or a SmackDown, whatever one it was, and he just came up to me. This was like after my debut, and just gave me the biggest hug. And he had like the smile on his face. And he was just so proud. And dude, I can't explain how that made me feel. I mean, that was just awesome, surreal. Um, because I was very, very much like, coming from like a shoot background, so like the entertainment part of it, being a character, saying things naturally in the script or the promo, that was definitely the mountain for me to climb. And so like, luckily I had someone like Dusty to kind of break the ice a little bit and show me, babies, this is how you do it.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
Oh
that's all.
wait, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
I know that's all I'm gonna do. No more impressions.
It's better than mine. But you make a good point though. Like the fact that you're an amateur wrestler, like a very accomplished one. Like you're a real shooter. Did that help you or did that hurt you? Like when it came to WWE and like pro wrestling, like having a real shooter background.
I think it helped me. I learned the technique very, very fast. Like I did a flip bump on like the first day of practice, and I nailed it. Like, to me, pro wrestling is very much like amateur wrestling practice, because in amateur wrestling practice, you're only as good as your drill partner, because your drill partner has to put out energy and he has to give you a realistic look, like say 60%. He's not going 100, because you're trying to feel what it's look like it really is to get a double leg, and you want to feel the resistance, you want to feel like the actual reaction of what you're expecting your opponent to do. And so it's a little bit of a dance, in the same way that pro wrestling is. And so like I was able to relate matches to that very quickly. Um, it was the entertainment aspect of it, and then of course storytelling in pro wrestling is very difficult, and it's very fascinating, and it's one of the things I love about pro wrestling is like the classic good versus evil, but like how are you going to tell it, and then how are you going to be evil, and there's so many different ways, like depending on the crowd. So I found that part very cool. But I definitely had to learn a lot about it, and definitely learning more about being a character and not being so tough guy.
Yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. And I mean, we talk about that too. Like so in amateur wrestling, like how much different is it when somebody's actually trying to beat you, whereas in pro wrestling, it's not. Like it's a dance. Like you're trying to tell a story. But how different is that from a performance standpoint?
Yeah, it's pretty opposite. I would equate someone trying to beat you in amateur wrestling to the politics in the back at pro wrestling. That's where the people are
Mm.
really trying to beat you. Um, and so that's where you got to be smart and tough and keep your cool and like Do not get angry. Do not sell anything. If you get angry in an amateur wrestling match, your nervous system is wasting energy. You're going to be more tired, and you're giving the guy an advantage. And the same thing, with politics in the back is like play everything cool, calm, and never sell. And but just know people are trying to beat you.
Yeah. Let's talk about that too. I don't think a lot of people realize like how important the politics in the back are, because like I would say like a lot of guys that I saw who didn't make it or who got let go, it's usually had to do with backstage politics. Like it, for the most part, it wasn't necessarily what they were doing in the ring or on the show, but like they could be performing great, but if they played the politics wrong backstage, that ended careers faster than anything they did wrong on the show.
Yeah. And granted, this is what 12 years ago, 9 years ago, when we were there. Definitely a different world. Definitely had to walk on eggshells a lot of the times. You never knew when somebody was gonna pick on you almost, or you know, it was hard. It was hard to be yourself up there a lot of times because you wanted to be so concealed
Yeah.
and not get circled out for anything by anybody. Which unfortunately it did happen, and it is what it is. It's one of those things where you really do have to like know your value, have confidence in it, and if something happens, like, is this the hill to die on? Okay,
Yeah.
no, then I'll swallow this and I'll keep going until I come to that hill. And the whole time you're working this at the same time, you got to be pitching ideas, you got to be creating relationships with writers or producers, and it comes pretty naturally because we're there together all the time. But at the same time, like you need people going to bat for you when your idea is out there or when your head's on the chopping block at the same time.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Absolutely. And you're right. Like it kind of creates this mentality where I think guys are kind of closed off sometimes. I know that's how I felt. Like, sometimes I'd be afraid to totally like even share like personal stuff because then somebody could weaponize that against you, or you never know who was jealous of you or your spot. Whereas it's so interesting because like in this business, we rely on our coworkers so much. Like in order to make a match successful, like we have to work together. So you would, and there is such a brotherhood, but the sinister side is that people will stab you in the back just to get ahead. Like that's just how it is. I mean, it is business. It is a business at the end of the day. So yeah, always got to keep your head on a swivel and stuff, man.
Yeah,
But
it's like the old road dog saying, "Hey, everybody's a snake, including me. It's just some people I don't bite."
that's good, actually.
Yeah,
That's good. Yeah, I could see that.
but
Um, man, okay. I want to ask about a couple things. Like, so take me back. What did it feel like winning Money in the Bank and then eventually cashing it in and becoming world champion? Like what was that like? Like, when did you find out what was going to happen? And just take me through that whole ride.
yeah, definitely very exciting. I found out maybe a couple days before I flew out to Mania that week, and so I was
That's
pretty
cool.
excited. Still, what that was 2010, so a year and a half, 2 years on the road, so still very green, almost like these NBA teams, like the Spurs. They didn't know what they didn't know what they didn't know because they're so young. Or I forget how that phrase go. What they're supposed to know, but like I didn't know what to expect. I thought we did all right. We definitely could have done better, I guess. I thought, being world heavyweight champion, I'm on a list with some great names, and that can never be taken away from me. So I'm very proud of it. Um, I'll tell you what, a 15-foot ladder in front of 100,000 people, you do not want to take another step if you don't have to up. I was
Congrats.
I got long arms, and I didn't want to take another step up because I was scared of heights, and like seeing all the people around me, I was like, ah.
Man,
That,
golly.
yeah, that was cool. And then the funny story is when they told Chris that I was going to cash it in on him, Chris Jericho on at SmackDown uh, on the following Tuesday. He looks at me, like pokes me right in the chest. And he was like, "You better not fuck this up." I love Chris.
He's awesome. Shout out to Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's dope. Okay, so let me ask this. So then you win the championship. Now, did that make it more fun, or was it just more stressful being the champion?
Definitely more fun. Undertaker has told me once, like, this business is only worth it is if you're at the top, so the fun part is the paycheck. And definitely more stressful because, like, you want to be at a high level, you want to be a great champion. You're going to be main event or semi-main event on most shows, and so you got to bring it home, and you got to be ready to have that 15, 20 minute, 30-minute banger, and that the crowd expects. Less stress at live events. Live events for fun. That's where we made our money, and you had more flexibility with it. But you're driving pay-per-views, you're driving ratings week to week when you're the champ, and so there's definitely more stress. But I think certain people who become champion want that. They want the pressure, they want the responsibility, and I think that's what drives them.
Yeah, most definitely. And it raises your value like with the company. And then like I wondered, did that help or factor in to the next time like you negotiated a contract? Like on my channel, the fact that I'm a lawyer, like I talk about contracts and stuff all the time. So I'm always like fascinated about that. Like do you remember if, that had an impact or it changed like if you on your next contract, did you feel like you had more leverage to ask for more after being world champ?
When I was there, I never felt like I had leverage, even after I was world champ. I felt like every time, at least like the first 4 years, I felt like every time, cutting season came across, like I was legit worried that I was going to be on there because they had so many people coming up, so many people cycling through. And it was always like a good 9 or 10 people that would get cut back in those days.
Yeah,
And so it was kind of like, man, one, I was young. Two, I had no management. Three, young kids, wife at home, uh, mortgage. I didn't feel like I had any room to like say no, and then I was just gonna hope that like I kept getting booked and kept getting booked and would make more than what was on that actual contract. And every year I did make more than the actual bottom whatever they gave me, but a lot of work.
yeah, and that's and what you said like about that time. That's how I feel like everybody felt was that nobody ever felt safe or like they had leverage, and like that's wild. Like you're a world champion and still like fearful for your job, but like you're not the only person who felt like that. I feel like that was everybody. And like the fact that most people didn't have managers or agents or anything like that, like to negotiate their contracts.
Yeah.
Whereas like for me, the fact that I am a lawyer, like I was aware of my contract and stuff, but at the same time, like I knew that I would have liked to have a manager, an agent at least handle that, but it was frowned upon. So then it's like this whole balance, like, all right, do I push and involve my agent, or am I gonna shoot myself in the foot because that's gonna rub the office the wrong way, and then they're not gonna be as high on me, not book me right, or not use me at all.
Mm-hmm.
So then it was more so like, and you got to put a lot of trust in the office, but is that wise? Because I mean,
No.
you're basically giving them the power, but but that's the thing is it's a position where they had all the power, so it
Yeah.
wasn't really like much you can do. Whereas like nowadays, I'm happy to see that more talent, are having agents and managers, or at least a buffer for somebody to look at their contracts and stuff, because the average talent doesn't know anything about royalties or merchandise or IP.
Yeah.
So
And
it's
there, and there's certain parts of those conversations where I feel like it's important that the talent doesn't hear the other side or how they speak, and then, the agent, the manager can interpret it all. And that way, like, the relationship doesn't get frayed from the negotiations.
That's exactly. I'm with you on that, because I feel like that was part of the problem, and why they had so much leverage is because it's almost like two friends, like, or mixing business with like family or friends, where you need to have a buffer that is just business so it doesn't damage the personal relationship, because you don't want to fight hard for your worth, but then to, in a way, create animosity there, where then they don't book you right, or there's a personal issue between you, because that was far more powerful than whatever was on the contract. Whatever was written on the contract is one thing, but it's all the interpersonal relationships and the politics that matters even more.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. Unfortunately, it was like that. I think it's different now. There's multiple television networks that are multiple wrestling programs on television networks now, and so it it's great for the boys. I think it forces all wrestling programs to come a little bit more correct with how they pay us. We still need a union. We still need 100% a union, but that's another four-letter word. But I imagine at the rate we're going now, I think down the line, I could see it happening for the boys.
Yeah, and that seems to be something that's talked about a lot more nowadays. Like, that comes up a lot, but a union for wrestlers, definitely something that's important, and would benefit the business overall, I think.
Yeah, it would have to be multiple agreements. It could be one union, but then would there be multiple agreements with the different companies type deal about the standards, or pretty much copy SAG, or copy the NFL players, their PA. There's got to be
Yeah,
something similar. I don't know if I don't know. I'm just talking off of my head, but this has always been on the back of my mind.
yeah. Why do you think it never happened? Because every now and then, like, you would hear rumblings, like a couple people were trying to get it together, but it never quite got off the ground. Why do you think that happened? Like, in your opinion?
Um, I don't know. I'm just speculating, but I would speculate that because they would treat someone the same way as you just mentioned about bringing your manager or agent into it. Like, if you brought up union to the powers that be, I imagine they didn't want the status quo to change,
Yeah,
and maybe it would, they would do things to make sure that it didn't change if that was an issue. I could.
yeah.
That's as vague as I'm saying it.
But I feel you. I feel you. I agree. Um, and it would be a big endeavor. Like, you'd have to have everybody on the same page. You'd have to have somebody knowledgeable spearheading it, and like, yeah, it's not an easy thing. But maybe someday it'll happen. I feel like things are in a better place today than they were 10, 12 years ago.
Oh yeah,
um
oh yeah, oh yeah. I feel like it's or at least I hear it's a different world, um, at the Fed now.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing too. And that, like, they don't really have live events anymore, which is, I feel like that's a good and a bad thing. It's good for some wrestlers and preserving their bump card, and letting people be able to focus on their family and stuff more. But then at the same time, it's not a good thing, especially for the newer talent who they need the reps. They need time working in front of an audience, and like there's no substitute for actually having matches and in front of a live crowd.
Yeah, and not a developmental live crowd, an actual live crowd.
Yeah. Tell me what you think about that too, because like developmental is one thing, and even like NXT and the NXT crowds, like somebody can be over in NXT and then like it will not translate at all on the main roster. And some of the times, like even for myself, like I can see it. Like, okay, something that works, like there'll be a guy they're really high on in NXT or whatever, and oh man, he's so over down there. The crowd, they love this catchphrase or whatever. They come to the main roster. I'm like, wait, what? This is it? And then like it kind of falls flat. And the office is always shocked by that. Sometimes it works, but sometimes it doesn't. But like in your mind, like what's the difference between like the developmental crowd and then like the general crowd like on TV on the main roster?
I guess the main thing is that you're on TV, and so like the whole world is seeing you, not just the crowd. And so like either you got it or you don't, and they're gonna see that right away. And I think they kind of know right away whether you do or not. But as far as the differences, I don't know. Like, can you get away with more stuff in a smaller crowd? Maybe. The smaller crowd are probably more regulars that can like come to the shows, and so like they're obviously more into it.
Yeah.
Some of the bigger crowds, the live events, these are just people who brought their friends who are, they're just having fun who hadn't been before too. So um, and then also with the bigger crowds, you're going to get more smart marks, more people cheering the heels, more people, you know, wanting the opposite of, the natural storytelling, but which is fine. You play to them all different ways. I think the biggest thing is like you just have to learn how to play to the bigger crowd, and then once you learn how to do that, you can get your gimmick over. Got to know what the reactions mean. You got to know how to respond, how not to. I don't know, you know, how to look cool and how to look tough, and then also how to get beat up.
Yeah. Yeah, all of that. And I think you're right too. I think the smaller crowd plays into it where, you have people that come to NXT arena or whatever it is, developmental arena week after week, and they get to know a talent, and it's kind of like they're invested in the talent personally. They probably, talk to them after the match, sign autographs, and they want to see them do well. So
Yeah,
whatever their gimmick is, like people will get behind it, which isn't necessarily the same as being on the main roster where you're in a different city each week and for each show, and those people aren't familiar. Like then it's more so like your performance or the individual's talent has to be top notch where it makes everybody invested, because the gimmick that they're getting over week after week to the same crowd, it's
yeah,
different because this is now a much larger scale. People don't know, and they want to be entertained. They're not going to give you time to get to know your gimmick. They're just going to change the channel or whatever it is.
yeah, yeah. I agree. I agree. And like every crowd is different. What works tonight is not going to work on the same on a different crowd tomorrow night. Like you could do the same thing tonight, and they cheer it. You do it the tomorrow night, and they boo it, and you're like, "What the heck?" But it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And you got to be able to move on to the next arsenal, the next weapon in
Right.
the arsenal.
Right. And then yeah, you have to be able to pivot on that. And then
Yeah,
even sometimes like you may have to change your character or change your gimmick. And I feel like it's the truly talented performers that are able to do that and then able to reinvent themselves into something else, or play heel and babyface and be great at doing both. Like there's not a lot of people who can do that.
I
Yeah.
agree.
All right, Mr. Producer Steve, what do we have that we want to do with Jake? We got any questions? Was there a ranking? What do we got?
We've got quite a bit. Let's start with some fan questions. Angelica 2013 has mentioned that Jesse Ventura is the closest wrestling's ever come to a union, and Hulk Hogan stopped it.
Oh yes, that's true. I'm familiar with that story. Yeah, Hulk Hogan ratted him out to Vince, and Vince shut that down quick.
And then, if you believe Jesse Ventura, he also took the WWE to court over residuals over his commentary on a VHS that they were selling that wasn't included in his data. Data. It wasn't included in his contract. But then he called Hulk Hogan to the stand specifically so he can ask him under oath whether or not he ratted out the union.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like he didn't actually need Hulk Hogan at the stand. He called Hulk Hogan to the stand just to do that.
So it was a brilliant move. I don't blame him. And I think that's true, though, is like, especially at that time, you would have needed everybody on board. And for a Hogan, I mean, he already had the top spot. So that's asking a lot of him, like to care for his, his brothers and stuff, which probably would be a good thing. But, I can understand the self-interest and not wanting to jeopardize his own spot. So that makes sense. All right, what else we got?
We got Cheese Wrestling. He remembers Team Laurinaitis with David Otunga, Jack Swagger, Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, and Mark Henry. And then he also mentioned, same.
I missed that, but yes, we were both part of a Team Johnny at WrestleMania 28, where we won.
Miami.
That's right. Where we won and defeated Team Teddy. That was definitely a great memory.
We recruited Eve Torres over. She tricked
That's right.
the Long Island iced tea, and he got a what do they call it in soccer when you kick it between their legs? Nutmeg.
Nutmeg. Yeah.
He got nutmeg.
Yes, he did.
We've got one more question until we jump to a game, and it's from Wrestling Shoot.
Okay.
This one's interesting, and it's, Jake, would you ever, once you perfect a heavyweight striking power, would you consider cutting to 205 pounds and taking that power down to light heavyweight?
I weighed in at 253 this last time, so that'd be a big cut. When my first fight for MMA in 2019, I had a 3-month training camp, and I was like every single day. I got down to 228, and that was like the lowest I'd been since college, but I was like absolutely shredded. So we'll go with the fun answer. Maybe.
The fun answer.
That'd be tough. That's a 50-pound cut.
Yeah.
And, I don't know. 205 is a little light.
I mean, if you dominate the heavyweight division to a point where you've beaten everybody twice, then by all means, you have to find a new hill. Yeah,
find a new way to challenge. Why not?
If I've beaten everybody twice, anyways, I got nothing.
Yeah. All right, what else we got, Steve?
I've got 2 games. One game is we can rank all the road food. So all the restaurants you encounter on the road.
Okay.
Let's do that because we were talking about that earlier. Yeah. Oh.
And there they all are.
Here. Okay.
So A&W.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really eaten there much. I usually did not when I was on the road.
So what is it? 0 is the lowest, and then 10's the highest.
It's A through F or never had it.
Okay, I'm gonna let you go first, Jake, and then I'll let you pick a place, and then if I've had it, I'll chime in, or we'll go. Oh, I see a couple of my favorites on here though.
I'll go D. I mean, unless you're D for desperate.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
I can't really see them.
I'll call them out for you.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be better.
So we've got Arby's next.
Arby's does have decent beef.
That's what she said.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna say okay, so it goes C, B, and then the best that's the A tier. I'm gonna say Arby's is probably a C tier for me.
Yeah, I agree.
Baja Fresh.
This is mine, I guess. I've never had Baja Fresh.
I've had it. I'm gonna say that's also probably a C tier. Like you can order like pretty healthy stuff, but no shade to them. It isn't the best seasoned. Like, yeah. So yeah, C tier for Baja Fresh.
C tier right up there with Arby's. And then I moved Qdoba all the way up because Qdoba is very similar to Baja Fresh and it's very similar to Chipotle. I'm going to find Chipotle in a second.
Well,
have either of you been to a Qdoba?
I have. Yeah, I like Qdoba. So I'm going to put them on the B tier. Qdoba was pretty good.
Yeah, I like Qdoba better than, I like Moe's better than Chipotle or Qdoba, but Moe's, Qdoba, Chipotle.
Is there a Moe's on this list? Because
Let me check and see. I don't think Moe's made the list.
Yeah, it's right there, right by McDonald's.
Oh yeah, it is.
Oh, there it is. So
welcome to Moe's.
Yeah.
So are we going? Or is this going to be our first best with Moe's?
I'm cool with that. I like Moe's a lot.
Moe's.
I would pass up other places to go to Moe's. Yeah.
And then we put Chipotle similar to Qdoba.
Yeah, sure. I think it is. Yeah, I like that.
Blimpie.
Never ate it.
Yeah, if I'm being honest, yeah.
You got your colored scale backwards though. Shouldn't the best be like green and then?
It should. They're.
Or is this like caliente, like the hottest food?
I think they're going the other way. That it's like the hottest food.
Oh, and then like green is like puke.
I got you. Now this is when we're on the road, like traveling, right?
Okay. Yeah.
On the road traveling generally.
Because then, because my philosophy is different. Like I try to eat leaner. I try to be a little bit more healthy, eat cleaner. So like I see you got Quiznos up there. Now, if I'm not working, Quiznos is great. But if I'm on the road and I got to be on TV in spandex, nah, Quiznos is going to be. I'm sorry, that's going to be C or D tier. Probably C tier.
So we're going because Blimpies came up. I sorted all the sandwich places. So now Quiznos, we're going to put it C tier. We good with C tier?
No.
Lower?
Lower.
Yeah.
Let's go D tier, A&W.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. D tier. I'm sorry. D tier. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
I would say Subway is C tier just because it's so easy to get and it's always there.
Yeah. Okay. Now I'm seeing the criteria. It's like C tier is stuff that I'll get because it's easy, but then it's not necessarily my favorite. And then the tier above it, B tier, that's preferred. And then the best, that's where I'm excited. Like if I see the place. Yeah. All right.
So where does Jersey Mike's rank against Subway? Would be the easiest way to go from here.
That's going to be lower than Subway for me.
Yeah, I'll put it with Quiznos.
There we go. So this is the Battle of Pennsylvania here. We've got Sheetz versus Wawa. We'll start with Sheetz.
Horrible. Garbage. Wouldn't feed my dog.
Oh, man.
That sounds like our first F tier.
That's Carver's absolute favorite.
Oh, my God. It's the Sheetz is the shits.
I'm telling you, like, I've never even heard of the place. And we were on the road. And Tarver started going crazy about this place, Sheetz. I thought it was a restaurant. It's a gas station. Yeah. And yeah. But anyway, all right, I'm cool with that.
So Wawa, also a gas station.
I always got very excited when I got to eat at a Wawa.
All right.
Are we A or B on Wawa?
Not A.
All right. My Philly's coming out for a second. I was like, we're going to put Wawa in A? Just do it. And then last for the sandwich is Firehouse Subs.
Yo, is that the same place? It used to be in Tampa. Like,
Yes.
yeah, because I remember a lot of the boys used to go there. Like when we used to have lunch break, like everybody would go to Firehouse. It was all right. That'd be like a C tier.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, it's right there with Quiznos, Jersey Mike's. They're all kind of the same.
Yeah.
So lower than Subway, or yeah, you said C tier. There we go.
Yeah.
All right, we got through the sandwiches. Now we got Bojangles. This is very regional.
Good spot.
Never a fan.
Yeah, if I'm on the road, yeah, I gotta put that low, man. Put that D tier.
All right.
Yep.
I don't know if I've seen one in 10 years, but Boston Market.
Oh, that's the way to my heart.
Oh, I was waiting to let you answer first because I was going to tell you this one here. This is top tier. This is top tier.
I'll agree with that.
Yeah, Boston Market on the road. That's like 5-star dining. I can't even tell you. I'll go in there and stock up. Like you can get healthy food, man.
The sweet potatoes, the meatloaf,
Yeah.
chicken.
Yep. The turkey, the green beans. Tell you, Boston. Don't sleep on Boston Market, man.
I think we just became best friends, David.
Yeah, Boston Market, man.
So we got Burger King next, and then I'm gonna drag all the burger places together while we talk about Burger King.
If I'm being honest, they're kind of all similar to me on the road burger places because I'm only gonna go in and get like, a grilled chicken sandwich if they have it with no bun. Maybe.
I mean, this is like 12:30. You're just walking out of the show. You got a 3-hour drive. What's open? Burger King. Okay.
Yeah. I'm with that.
So Burger King C tier.
D tier.
Yeah, D tier.
D tier, and then Carl's Jr. higher or lower than Burger King?
Same.
Yeah, same.
And then I'll put that over here with the chicken. We're not there yet. Checkers. If you've ever been to a Checkers.
That's below.
I'm cool with putting them below.
Let's put that F.
Yeah.
F next to Sheets. Move that with the chicken. We got Jack in the Box. We're gonna put that similar to Burger King.
Yeah.
And then McDonald's, but McDonald's always open, always everywhere.
They got a special place in my heart too. So I'll say C tier for McDonald's, just because I would choose that over any of the other ones.
Fair. Yeah, same actually.
And now I've kind of tiered out the burger quality in general because now we've got In-N-Out Burger.
If there is In-N-Out, I'm gonna put it, probably still C tier, or maybe.
Ooh.
Maybe what
if there's In-N-Out, dude, I'm gonna put that up there with Boston Market. Like I'm gonna be excited about it.
Yeah, that's the thing is like, I guess now I'm jaded a little bit because I live in Los Angeles, could have it whenever, but there was a time where if there was an In-N-Out anywhere nearby, we would drive to it. So yeah, I'm cool with putting that up there.
Get it up there.
Don't be jaded. Don't hate.
Yeah.
So where are we at on Sonic?
Yeah. D tier.
Yeah.
We're gonna go D tier Sonic. Probably very similar for Wendy's.
Yeah.
Let me make sure I didn't miss any burger joints before we get. Okay, Whataburger.
So I'll put them at C tier. If you're in Texas, they're always open.
Yeah, pretty good.
And now for the slightly higher end burger places, we have Steak and Shake. Okay.
They take a while too.
I was going to say that they do.
Usually in a hurry. So
that's D or F.
D.
Yeah.
And then Shake Shack, very similar.
I'll put them above at C.
Yeah.
And now I think I have all the chicken places. Let me make sure. Let's start with Popeyes.
There's a Five Guys over there too.
Oh wait, sorry. We're
by El Pollo Loco.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, we got
to
hitters still.
So we got to place Five Guys before we jump to chicken. Do we put Five Guys around a Shake Shack?
Yeah.
I've had a good one.
All right, Popeye's chicken.
I'm gonna let the black man handle all the chicken.
All right, I got you. Popeyes, they only just recently got grilled chicken. It's like, again, man, if I got to be on TV in spandex, I can't have fried chicken. But if this wasn't Road and it was just doing fried chicken, Popeyes will get a bump up. But I'm gonna have to put them at D tier. Yeah, because again, this is health related, and I got to stay lean. Chick-fil-A, I don't mind it. Actually, you can get some pretty healthy stuff there. I can go C tier on Chick-fil-A. Churches, I do like Churches. Churches is gonna be the same with Popeyes, bro. They're gonna be the same with Popeyes.
We got Raising Cane's.
Same. D tier.
People are obsessed with Raising Cane's.
Cooking out is really good, though. I had that recently.
I haven't had it.
I feel like it's healthy food and it's on the grill, like right there in front of you, and it's quick. I think it's like Louisiana based, Southeast based.
Cool.
So we're at a C minimum.
Okay, I'll put C.
And we got El Pollo Loco.
All right. This is top tier. This is top tier for me. Grilled chicken on the road, flame grilled, and it's decent.
Yeah.
Hey, El Pollo Loco is a hidden gem.
Get your little fried plantain in there.
Yeah, El Pollo Loco is it, man. All right. What else we got?
So let's just we got Culver's next up on the list. Let's go Culver's.
Definitely C tier.
All right,
I don't know if I'm getting excited about it, but I feel like it's good food.
Yeah.
All right, so I think next to Culver's is Denny's, and then I'm gonna start backfilling some like restaurant places.
Okay.
From there. So this is a very controversial one for some. Waffle House.
I mean that was my go-to, quick and nasty.
Yeah. That's and it's always open.
You can get grilled chicken there with eggs, a little bit of hash browns. Not too bad.
Yeah. Like, I kind of feel like it kind of has to be B tier because I would probably go there than most places on the C tier. Yeah. But on the it can go B tier. And then I feel like same with like Denny's.
Ooh, Denny's can go to the B tier.
I'm gonna fight you on that. I'll give you C tier on Denny's.
C-tier? Okay. I'm cool with that.
Sometimes the food kind of tastes microwaved.
Yeah.
We've got IHOP.
Now IHOP, I'm gonna put above Denny's because you can get those steak tips there, and that sustained me a lot on the road.
I'm okay with that.
And now we've got Portillo's.
What? That shouldn't even count. That's like this
right?
Chicago thing. Man, what are you doing to me? Hey, that's got to be top tier. That's got to be top. I don't know if you've had this, Jake, but Portillo's, that's top tier, bro.
All right, I'll take your word for it.
That's a Chicago place. Yeah, definitely.
And they have something on here called Swenson's. Has anyone been to Swenson's?
I've never heard of it.
No, never heard of it.
Jimmy John's. I missed it when we were doing sandwiches. Where do we put Jimmy John's?
Not a lot of meat, more bread. So I mean, the bread tastes good, but like that's not a sandwich when you put 3 slices of meat across a 6-inch.
Yeah.
So D tier, probably around Quiznos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever actually been to. Is that Jollibee's?
I've never been there. Never heard of it.
Jollibee? Nobody?
Nope.
Let's get into the pizza. Let's start with Little Caesars.
Pizza. Jake, you ever eat pizza on the road?
I would eat Domino's on Tuesday nights after I got done with everything. Like I would sit in my hotel room, get the same large thin crust pizza, and it would all be gone by the time my flight.
That's not bad. Like a celebratory pizza. Man, I should have done that.
Yeah, you know, some you know, you get done with 2 TVs back to back, 3 live events. You know, some days you just want to sit in the hotel room.
To be honest, no, I feel you. You know what it usually was for me? Chicken wings. It would be chicken wings. If they had Buffalo Wild Wings, or if there was a Hooters in town, oh, for sure. Yeah, Ryback and I would get Hooters.
So where do we want to put Domino's?
I mean, they're everywhere. It was always open. I'll go B tier with them.
Decent wings at Domino's too. Actually.
And then do we put Little Caesars higher or lower?
Lower.
And then Pizza Hut also lower.
Yeah, not a lot of Pizza Huts back in the day were around.
Yeah.
And then Sparrow.
Yeah, I'd say the same.
Yeah.
Let's put it around there. Let's get Wild Card. Long John Silver's.
What are we, 7?
Yeah, I haven't had Long John Silver's in forever.
Oh my God, there's a reason.
Yeah.
We're F, right? We're
F tier on that. Yeah.
Panda Express.
You know, I get pretty excited if the food is fresh at Panda. R-Truth got me onto that place, so I'll give it at least a B tier.
I'm with you. Yeah, you can get good stuff at Panda Express.
This place is called Noodles Company. I've not heard of it.
Yeah, me neither.
No.
Yeah, nah.
All right, we've got in the pizza category. We're just kind of jumping around. Papa John's. Where do we put Papa John's? The sugary sauce.
It does have sugary sauce, right? Good.
Yes.
So it's not just me.
No, it's very sugary sauce.
Yeah.
If that's what you're in for. If that's what you're down with.
Yeah. It's about the same as Pizza Hut and them to me. Or even a tier below. Yeah.
So this one's interesting. Because I didn't know this until fairly recently. That when they say Dairy Queen, there are Dairy Queen locations that actually make fast food. I'm from Pennsylvania. Yeah. We just had ice cream Dairy Queens, but Dairy Queen is quite good fast food.
Yeah, I grew up. My grandpa used to take me to a Dairy Queen. I would get the chicken strip basket with the toast and the white gravy. Yeah, I would do D tier though.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
That's like a desperation.
All right, we're rounding out. We got KFC. I missed it with the chicken, with all the other chicken.
You know what? I'm gonna go. KFC can get C tier. Yeah, they've had grilled chicken for a while, especially back in FCW. That might have been B tier in FCW. I'm telling you, I used to show up to our live events with a bucket. Well, I used to have a truck. I'd have a bucket of the grilled chicken in the truck.
Some odds and ends here. We got Panera Bread.
I wasn't huge on Panera.
Yeah, let's just go D tier with them.
D tier with Panera Bread. D-tier. Also, the Lightning Lemonade, I think is what they called it, had caffeine in it. It was a big legal case that they didn't label that the Lightning Lemonade had caffeine, and somebody drank a bunch of it and died. It's a rough case.
And died from it?
And died. We should talk about it on the other channel.
Yeah, legal channel. That's interesting.
So this next place, PDQ. I'd imagine there's a chicken in the logo. I'd imagine it's chicken.
I've never had it. Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's a chicken place. It's all right, but D tier.
D tier. This place is called Penn Station East Coast Subs. I've
had it.
not had it.
I think we lost Jake. There he is.
There he is. Next, we've got Potbelly. I'm pretty sure that's a sandwich shop.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, Potbelly is with the other sandwich shops. Decent. So like
C tier. D tier.
D tier.
We've got. Let's go stall a little. See what's up with Jake's connection or his phone. So we're on to Roy Rogers. It's very important stuff here.
Very important. Roy Rogers. Man, that reminds me of like rest stops in the middle of nowhere, and that's the only thing around. I gotta go. What is that? The E tier? F tier?
The F tier is the lowest.
Yeah, let's do that for Roy Rogers. Sorry, Roy. White Castle, though. Hey, a crave case. I'm gonna take off the buns and just eat 30 little meat sliders. That actually is B tier.
B tier.
White Castle. At the right time of night, I go get the suitcase thing, the crave pack. Oh man.
All right, these are
two. We got one of those around here somewhere, actually.
Pretty close, right?
I don't think David's ever had White Castle. I should maybe surprise him.
Hold up, what?
That's
content.
He eats really, really healthy, like, because he was born like when I was already like eating really healthy and clean. So like he doesn't have to unlearn a lot of bad habits that like I did growing up, always eating like fast food and stuff. Like I love it. Like we'll go to like Taco Bell or something, which I got to put up here. He doesn't even know what's on the menu. I'm like, how do you
really?
How do you not know what's on the menu at Taco Bell? But he has no idea. And even McDonald's, like he kind of just learned. Like my mom would sneak and take him there all the time. Anyway, Taco Bell, that is going to be B tier. Still, even while eating healthy.
Check and see if Jake texts you, because his connection froze and then we lost him.
No, not yet.
Okay,
but it's all right.
His phone might have died, so he might need to plug it in. So while we're on tacos, there are a lot of tacos on this list. We've got Del Taco, SoCal staple.
That's good. That's gonna be C tier.
I can't really argue with that.
Nah. What else?
So we've got Torchy's Tacos, Taco Cabana.
Never had it.
So Schlotsky's is a bakery.
Oh, and like a deli.
Yeah.
That's gonna be F tier. Sorry, Schlotsky.
And then I think that's Skyline Chef is what that logo looks like. I don't think we've.
Wait, is that a diner? Or I can't tell. There was a Skyline Diner that was pretty decent. I don't know if that's it or if that's we might have to put that in. I haven't had it.
Yeah, we gotta.
I'm not
so
sure.
We're down to 4 here. Got Wiener Schnitzel.
I've never eaten there. I've seen it, but
Really?
I've never eaten there. Is it decent?
It's if you look at the logo, or you like drive by a Wiener Schnitzel and then you have Wiener Schnitzel, you're not disappointed. You're like, this is
okay.
And that's not saying the bar is on the floor, but it is like at your knees.
Okay.
Like the bar is Wiener Schnitzel is very much what you would expect from Wiener Schnitzel. And I think Zaxby's is chicken. Have you had Zaxby's?
Yeah. Yeah. That would be D tier.
D tier?
Yeah.
And now we got 2 wing places.
All right.
I think this place is called Wings Over. I've never heard of it.
I've never heard of Wings Over. I haven't had that.
And then Wingstop.
Wingstop. We're ending on a good one. You can go put that top tier.
Top tier?
Yeah. Wingstop, I'm excited to see when they have it. The wings are pretty decent. I can still be low carb, put down a 30-piece lemon pepper. I might get, 20 lemon pepper, and then split up the other 10 maybe. But I'm happy with this list. I think it's pretty accurate. It's pretty good.
Give it a quick download. I think we're a lot of D tier.
Yeah. A lot of D tier.
But what I find interesting is that, like, you and Jake, as people who are on the road a lot, talked like if you looked at like the amount of things that get C or better versus the amount of things that don't, you would think like, oh, they don't ever eat there. And the answer is like, no, if they're on their own 300 days, they've eaten all these places.
Yeah, and it comes down to what your options are. Like, that's how I was trying to grade this, is like the places that are top tier. Like if there's one anywhere nearby, you'll drive a little bit extra to get there. And then like B tier, like if they have that, like, oh, today's a good day. Like, you know,
Right.
You're happy. But then for the most part, like if there's anything like with C tier, yeah, you'll go and you'll have it. And even D tier, like you do it if you have to. But below D tier, I don't know, might just go wait, hold out, see if you can drive a little further and find anything else. Or like if you really there's nothing else, then you do that. Yeah.
I wish Jake was with us so that I could ask both of you this question. But as someone who, similar to like you're saying how your son was just born into clean eating, and I was not. I learned to eat clean like a month ago, I guess. Like, and it's a lot of grocery store trips, a lot of chicken, a lot of Greek yogurt.
Yeah.
Was there grocery store trips or like the planning beyond fast food? Was there planning around the meals to stay lean that involved a grocery store or even what you could find at like a 7-Eleven or a gas station that was baked into your travels?
Yes, for me there was, and especially once I started doing like the whole posing entrance, where then like that was extra pressure on myself, where I had to stay lean and basically contest ready. And so then like I like that because it made me stick to really, really clean eating. And so like what I used to do at that time, like my cousin Brian, who recently passed away, but he would be on the road with me. And it was funny because what we would do on a 5-day loop, like say we flew in on Friday, the first thing we would do is we would go to preferably like a super Walmart. And there's a number of things like we would buy, the shopping list, but I would always buy a coffee maker, a hot plate, a non-stick skillet, some egg whites, and then just things like to have in the rooms. Like we would take these with us from day to day. So his job was to help set that stuff up and break it down. Like I paid for him like on my own dime. Like I paid for his travel. He would make the loop with me, and it just made things easier. And because a large part of it was if I have to be away 5 days out of the week, like it's really hard to keep up your nutrition like on the road. So by at least having some things like with us that I could cook in the room, it made it so much easier. Because say we were somewhere and there wasn't anything that you know I could eat really, then at least I could go back to the room and cook something up. Or I tried to get places that had kitchenettes in them or whatever. And the coffee maker, because you know I love my coffee, so I would brew my own coffee on the road. And then at the end of the 5 days, so then after we filmed Raw or maybe it was SmackDown, I would just leave everything in that hotel and we would just go home. It was just, you know, basically a write-off. And at that time, like the reason I would go to Walmart is because you could get a good coffee maker for like $10. And then I felt really bougie and I started buying the $12 coffee maker.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I gifted all of these places, tons of hotels around here. Like they kind of owe me. I gave them free coffee makers, skillets, hot plates. Occasionally, this was maybe once or twice. If we could find a good price, I might even buy a microwave. Because there was like somewhere it had like a decent like $40 microwave. And,
so like a 5-cup or a 12-cup?
Oh, I would always go 12 cup. Yeah,
12 cup.
Oh,
Okay, so
inflation. Oh wait, what? It's now $16. Oh, they've gone up.
You're gonna have to shop. You're gonna have to go to a Target. You have to go to a Goodwill.
Yeah, nah. They used to have like the Walmart brand. No, Mainstays. They're playing games with the prices now. It's different.
So like you go Black and Decker though.
Oh yeah. Sometimes it would be that actually.
But that's what you would. That's the brand you would go with if you were buying it once.
Yeah.
Like the one in my kitchen is a Black and Decker. It's gonna outlive me. To
be perfectly honest, sometimes like I would feel guilty about wasting it, even though it's $12 or whatever, and I would take it back with me and I would just leave it in a travel bag. And then that bag always reeked of coffee because there'd always be coffee grounds and stuff in it. And then it would get inspected by TSA a lot because apparently people used to use coffee grounds to stash illicit substances and illegal substances. They were like drugs and things.
Not used to. That's
or still do. Okay.
Yeah, that's if you're traveling the country or the world with heroin. It's an easy way to get a dog off. Yeah, because you get the dog off your scent.
Gotcha.
Allegedly.
But my coffee was always gourmet too, so it might be French vanilla flavored or whatnot. But definitely, yeah, lots of coffee grounds.
but you, given the ubiquity of a Walmart, it was never on the agenda to return the coffee maker.
No, that's far too much work. What? Go in there and return it, and after I probably could though, and after I use it, no.
Oh, bro, if you want to talk about how cheap I am, I would return the coffee maker, but then still write off every receipt for every coffee maker, and then if audited, be like, oh my god, I'm sorry, I forgot I about money back. I wrote off the coffee makers because I spent it.
The thing of it was like the travel was so much that by the end of it, like that last night, like after the show, it's too late. You don't even have time to go to, well, you probably could if it was a 24-hour Walmart. But at the same time, like you leave the show at like 11 p.m., something like that. And then your flight the next morning is going to be at like 6 a.m. And so, which means you have to be at the airport by like 4 a.m., something like that. So you don't really have a lot of time. It's only 5 hours between, when you get back to your room and then when you have to be at the airport. So not a whole lot of time to eat and sleep. But,
so then also worry about in your case, $13 coffee maker.
Exactly. And so that's why we used to go to Walmart is it was the best bargain for everything. And it was one stop. Like I didn't have to go to another grocery store. Like they had stuff in there. So I could buy the coffee. I had to have my creamer. And actually in those days, I think it was sugar-free syrup. I was flavoring my coffee. So it'd be black coffee with some sugar-free syrup and some Splenda. Yeah. Nowadays it's creamer though when I travel. Nowadays I do this, but a different version. Like I usually won't buy a coffee maker. I won't buy a hot plate or skillet. I will go and buy like my coffee creamer, whatever, like healthy condiments. So then that way, like it's easier to dress up like a chicken salad or something if I have like, the right healthy, condiments that I can use. Yeah. But also, and getting back to this, like for my son who grew up with clean eating, like he knows what to get at different restaurants. So like it'd be interesting, like if he did this tier list, his would probably be pretty similar to mine. And then there's a ton of most of those restaurants he's never been to or doesn't even know what they are. But like his go-to is Chipotle. He knows how to order healthy from there. IHOP, loves that. Because like still when I'll be on the road and I take him with me, like we live like a road lifestyle. It's kind of fun because it's kind of like when I was on the road with wrestling, like he kind of lives that with. Like we go on trips for his basketball tournaments, and that's what we'll do. Because he's like I'm saying, like he's really, really strict on his diet to the point where I'm like, man, we have some wings tonight. He won't do it. But
so
I've created a monster.
If you're trying to get him to a White Castle, there are none.
We have one. Like I know where one is. Like 2 minutes from my house right now. I can't tell you where it is because then people will.
Well, yeah, people know where
I am, but
it's not on their website. Is all I'm saying.
Okay. Oh, I hope they didn't close it down then.
I feel like I feel like people on my Facebook feed would have been insufferable if they had opened a White Castle.
Like, all right, now I need to go by there and see if it's still there. But there's definitely a White Castle. I haven't gone to it. There's definitely a White Castle sign. I know I'm not crazy.
Okay.
I've definitely seen that.
But next time you take DOJ to Las Vegas, that would be where.
I don't know if it's going to be the same for him because he's not going to eat the buns. I'm not either. What am I talking about? There was a time. Nah, I still wouldn't eat all the buns. I wasn't that wild. What I would do is I would take like 5 burgers and then make one out of it. So stack up like 5 patties and eat the bun. So, because I mean, 30 buns is a lot. Yeah.
Also, because we're looking at sugar-free Torani syrups, you've reminded me. I was a full fat coffee creamer person until I was over your house once, and you had Twix flavored sugar-free coffee mate, and I was like, I'm gonna try this. And I've been meaning to ask you. This was probably April. I've been meaning to ask you since. Where do you get that?
Walmart.
Is it at Walmart?
Yeah, Walmart's got it.
Okay.
That's like they must have some kind of a deal. I'm sure maybe some other stores do, but like I specifically go to Walmart for that. And then I'm showing you all my business out. In this one, I have Snickers flavored, but it's actually not Snickers flavored because they don't have the sugar-free Snickers flavored. So they have the chocolate caramel. That's actually my favorite, and it's sugar-free. Yeah.
It must be in person only because it's not on their website.
Oh.
And like I've Googled it and like haven't even found it. Like I've been in so the Walmart out by you. Now I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
But also like when I'm in Illinois, the Walmart, or actually the Jewel store, that's our grocery store too. They have it. But yeah. Yeah, man, this Walmart website you got here, they don't have all the stuff. I don't think.
They don't. Well, I think the Walmart.com is technically a different warehouse from an actual Walmart. Because like they want you to, because they're trying to compete with Amazon, or at least like get some footing against Amazon. Yeah. So they maintain their own warehouse. Like the warehouse that ships the stuff to the store, you're effectively buying it from that same warehouse.
Gotcha.
But
cool.
What would you cook up on the hot plate or the skillet other than egg whites?
I mean, yeah, egg whites. I started doing like I would cook spinach and then what else would we do? Like the chicken was hard because we have to have like a kitchen or something. But if there was, I'm sorry, if there was like a refrigerator, then yeah, I would buy some chicken breast. But even then, like you had to cook it right away. But mostly just eggs. Yeah, scrambled eggs different ways. Egg white omelets, just a different way to add protein.
So I will say, this is an absolute staple of my diet because it's hand-pulled rotisserie chicken and it's already cooked.
Where are you getting this from?
Costco.
Oh, okay. I've heard about this.
Because you can also get the $5 Costco chicken and pull it yourself. Because that is, we're talking $1 per ounce. That's the best deal in food. Like, the only way you could do better is by stealing. But like this is also pretty good and comparable that it's 46 ounces. And I think it's less than $10 for 46 ounces.
Not bad.
Of hand-pulled chicken breast that's pre-cooked. So you can just put that in the refrigerator, open it up, and then just like put that on a wrap with some barbecue sauce.
Yeah. You know what else they have at Costco that we get a lot? They have it's already cooked. It's chicken, and now they have a steak, but they come in these little like little packages. You get like a sheet of them, and they're pretty good, pretty decent. So like nowadays, actually, on whatever the last basketball trip we just took a couple weeks ago, but I took a few of those with us. Yeah,
no, I think it's not crispy wings. I know what you mean, that they sell like a Chipotle chicken kind of like a tray that a tray of like what you would find at like a Chipotle. Am I off?
Yeah, kind of like, yeah, it's like chicken cubes like cut up like, yes. Yeah. and they come in little pre-portioned like packages. Yeah, and you get like a sheet of them all together. You just rip one off and put it in. Yeah, throw it in the microwave. Yeah, they're pretty decent. And now they have steak also.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're pretty decent.
And I'm showing how much I know about a thing I buy all the time. I was like, oh, it's under $10. But no, it isn't. It is almost 50% more than $10.
That's pretty good. I'm gonna have to try that though too. Yeah. I think we lost Jake though.
I think did he text at all? Like
No, I checked my phone.
Well, Jesse Ortiz had a question for you that I wasn't gonna put up. I was gonna put up if Jake was with us, but now Jake's not with us. He wants to know if you've ever thought of writing an autobiography.
I have, Jesse Ortiz. I have thought about that a lot. And I think that's something that I'm going to make that a goal. That's something I want to start probably before the end of the year. And it's one of those things where I have so many different ideas that it's almost like paralyzing in a way where I don't know where to start. And it's probably just something that I need to start and find. I got an idea of somebody who can help me with it and help me structure it, help me get the story together. But that's definitely something that I want to do sooner rather than later. Yeah. So let me know. Let me know what you want me to include in the autobiography. What should I talk about in the book? Give me different parts or questions that you want to make sure I answer.
Friends of Wednesday Hang, frequent watchers of Wednesday Hang might see a familiar face in that conversation.
They might indeed. They just might. We may have touched on this before a little bit recently. You don't have to go back too far.
Right. Let's talk to you about some modern wrestling.
All right.
How do you feel about people comparing CM Punk's current title reign, the one that we're in right now, to like The Rock when it comes to like part-timedness?
I think that's wild because CM Punk is full-time as far as I know. It's just different now. The way WWE does it, they give guys more time off, or if they don't have something, they don't book them, or they give the audience a chance to miss somebody. I don't feel like that's Punk taking, unless they know something I don't know, but it doesn't seem like it's Punk taking time off to do something else. Whereas I understand why people were upset with The Rock is that, WWE wasn't his main job. And actually, I don't really understand why people were upset with it, but I understand their line of thinking and their reasoning is that they want him there all the time. However, he already did that, and he is doing other things which make his name even bigger, which makes it even more special when he does come back. So to me, I thought that was great. I'm cool with that. I think that's a smart thing to do. And I think it's better to have him some of the time than not at all. I mean, he doesn't want to be there every week. He already did that. To be honest, The Rock doesn't have anything more to prove. He really doesn't. So it's kind of a gift, like to the audience, like when he does come back, because he's already cemented, one of the greatest of all times. But anyway, to CM Punk, who is well on his way to, being one of the all-time greats as well. I don't see why people are mad calling him a part-time. Maybe it's just that they want him on every show, which I understand, but I don't think those things really compare or are that fair. And I mean, as far as I know, he just won the title. Like it's only been like a week or 2 weeks. Something like that.
It's a very rough argument. I think the argument would be more like John Cena was part-time at a time, or at least John Cena would always be top of the card, which was something you were there for. CM Punk railed against for so long. He was the main event of night 2 of WrestleMania, so that would have been April, and then nobody saw him again. Well, then he had a promo the night after, and then nobody saw him again until this title shot in Chicago 8 days ago. So, like, I can see the argument because people are trying to say, like, oh, he lived long enough to be the villain. And, like, I would argue from a storytelling standpoint, that's not a negative, that's a positive.
Right. I actually kind of a cool story.
Right. If that's what you want to present.
Yeah.
That if you want Cody Rhodes to get in his head and tell him, like, man, pipe bomb CM Punk would call you a sellout.
Yeah. I think that's great storytelling. Actually, I think that's cool. And clearly, if that is what they're doing, it's working because it's got people upset and talking about it, which that's what you want. It would be different if he came back, he wins the championship, and it's business as usual. Nobody cares. Nobody says anything. Nobody feels a way about it. Then what did we really accomplish? Why have him come back and win the championship then? That's how I feel about it. So I actually think that's one of the strongest storylines right now, and that is working, and for that reason. But also him not being on the show, I don't know, but I don't think that's his call. Like it didn't appear that way to me. It seemed like they were trying to figure out the next storyline or what made the most sense. Because usually that's the office is called, not the talents. Usually.
It might be, in his case, it might be a little of both.
Could be.
But in the sense that he's, of all the people who's on TV right now, he is the most in position to show up on Monday and say, what's the creative? Like, show up the Monday after WrestleMania, he just lost the championship, and say, what's the creative from now to SummerSlam? And if he doesn't like the creative, he's in the best position to say, I think I mean more if nobody sees me till July.
That's true. That's true. And maybe. But then is that they had creative and he didn't like it and said, nah, I think that, I'm going to hold off until then. That still is, does that make him a part-timer? I don't know. It's not, I mean, as far as I know, I don't think he's doing anything else. I think it's just this. Actually, I think he's been putting in work in the gym. Jay Ferrugia. Shout out to Jay. Like, he had CM Punk's gone under a tremendous body transformation. I'm super proud to see that. I remember being on the road, and it was like when Punk first started like really taking the gym seriously. Like I remember that. And before, that wasn't really a priority. And so it was kind of cool because I remember so well. We were in a gym. I'm not sure where, but it was on the road, and Punk was already Punk, and I was squatting, and he came up and asked me a question, and he's like, clearly, you do this, been doing this for a long time, but he's like, how come you're not wearing a belt? And I was going pretty heavy. I was doing like 405 or something. I told him, I was like, well, I've just never wore one, never needed it. And he's like, oh, I see. He's like, yeah, you never need it. Like this, that's your belt right there. And he asked me something else about it, but it stuck out to me because I was like, yo, he really is serious about this now. And the fact that he's humble enough and, knew that realized he's a beginner in working out, and asked me questions where I'm clearly, a beginner in wrestling. I have to ask him a ton of questions about wrestling, but he deferred to me in the gym, which I thought, I just thought that was really cool and a testament to who he is. And what it did is it made me like pull for him, like I wanted to see him succeed and, improve his physique. And I've been really happy, like seeing the results that he's gotten. I think he looks great. He's in the best shape of his life. And like, I see the clips like they put out, and he's training with Jay, who also trains Chad Gable and Bailey. And like, I mean, the proof is in the pudding, man. That guy's like, there he is right there. Yeah. And actually it was funny because one of the gyms I work out here, the one I took you to, in fact, Steve, I usually work out at that gym, and then I had to catch a flight and I didn't go there one day. And then I see on Instagram, Punk came in there with Jay, and I had just missed him. It's like, oh man, that would have been cool to see him training in person. But yeah, it was on the build up for Mania. But yeah, no, he looks great, man. That's good. And that's really adding to his longevity, I'd imagine too. But it's cool. And look, and Baylor, like they're working out together, just like the environment. Chad Gable's with them a lot. Like that's really cool. Because on the road, those are some of the best memories I have too. Is like a lot of guys would go to the gym, not everybody. And then there were those who took it serious and those who didn't take it as serious. Like, and in my group, like in Nexus, like Ryback and I, we were the two who took it very, very serious. We bonded over that. And then Mason Ryan also. And so it was cool. Like, and it was a sight. Like you'd see all of us walk into the gym at the same time. And, you know, like Mason Ryan, Ryback, those are like two of the biggest guys like you're going to see. Like you don't see guys that look like us just walk into a gym. You might see a guy like that, you know, once a year or something like that. Now you have like 5 or 6 walking in at the same time. And it's really cool because what we would do is we would know what city it is, and we would generally know what the good gym is there, or gyms, but there'd usually be like one main gym, and then we would share it with the boys. We would all show up and work out together, which is pretty cool. Yeah.
I'm curious, was there ever a problem that if you hit the same cities enough and then all the wrestlers go to the same gym every time they hit that city, was there ever a problem with fans hanging out at that gym roundabout when you would be there?
Sure. Absolutely. And I think there was a time, I remember a story. I don't want to misquote it, but I feel like there was one of the times somebody had an interaction and they tried to make something of it with Randy Orton, but I feel like it was at a gym. And like what I heard, the backstory of it that they don't tell you is like somebody was bothering him like in the middle of a set or like in the middle of his workout. Like, bro, there's a time and a place for that. Like, because even for me, I'm super nice, approachable. I know this is part of it, but that's the only time like I would get irritated. Is like there's certain gym etiquette, and it's like this is the one time I have, especially being on the road for WWE. Like this is the one time I have during the day to work out. Like I'm actually working on this is like practice in a way. Or like I'm working on my physique right now. This is part of my gimmick, my presentation. It's like I need to do this. So like I'll take pictures on the way in, on the way out. And to be honest, I would wind up doing it in the middle of the workout. But that's the only time like I would probably like try to limit it. But yes, that is a thing. There's a few cities and they know of that. But in going back there, like generally like the people who own the gym, they, for the most part, they would try to corral people a little bit. And the other thing is that really used to get me is this is advertising like for your gym. Like you would want all of the wrestlers to come there and work out. So some of the gyms were business savvy enough to offer, you know, like free day passes to the wrestlers. And then there were some that they didn't understand and they would be real sticklers or make it difficult. Like you have to sign up, you have to sign this, you have to sign or put your email down and your address to even work out and all that. It's like, yeah, we don't want to go through all that trouble. We'll just go to another gym. And they didn't understand, wait, this is, you probably want these guys in your gym. But yeah, that's a whole another topic. Probably make a video on that, working out on the road.
Is it true that most pro wrestlers have a Planet Fitness membership as an absolute last resort?
I don't know. Not that I know of. A Planet Fitness membership? I don't know. Like for guys like me and the group that I was with, like I'm anti Planet Fitness, if you really want to know, because they discriminate against people like me. It's supposed to be no judgment zone or judgment free zone. No, they judge people more than anybody else. And so like if you are in shape, they don't want you there. And in fact, they labeled me a lunk and sounded the alarm on me. And I didn't do anything. Like if you drop weights, first of all, I don't drop my weights. I don't grunt. I'm actually, pretty quiet in the gym. I was always taught if you're grunting and making a whole lot of noise, you're not lifting heavy enough. That's just how it was. Like it's not a show. I'm not in there to get people to look at me. I'm in there. It's a very solitary thing for me. But just if you lift too heavy, they will sound the alarm on you. And the few times you were there, it was my tag partner, Joe Hennig, Curtis Axel, who was McGillicuddy at the time. He would go and tell them to sound the alarm on me. And so he got me with that a couple times. And then I only knew it was him because he was laughing. And he told me. But anyway, I've had to work out at Planet Fitness a handful of times when that's like the only gym in town. And to be honest, it's difficult sometimes because this sounds wild, but like the ones that they don't have like a lot of free weights. It's almost like a glorified hotel gym in a way. If you've ever been to a hotel gym, like I was in one recently, they had a Smith machine. Okay, great. But they only had 2 45-pound plates. What am I going to do with that? I mean, do one arm like press? Like I could do that, but Planet Fitness, there's some that are nicer than others. Don't get me wrong. There are some that are like legitimate gyms.
I do need to interject as somebody who goes there every day.
Okay.
They're franchise owned. All the locations are franchise owned. So there's a lot of ubiquity, but there's also a lot of non-ubiquity in what equipment is where, how big the facility is, what the rules are, what kind of stuff they have. If people respond well to this, I think me taking you to a Planet Fitness would be kind of funny. Because they have free weights. They have plenty of free weights. Okay. Also, the Planet Fitness I go to, I believe, has 8 Smith machines, more plates than you can count. At the beginning of this year, they just got squat racks, like actual freestanding squat racks with the wooden floor.
But this is my point. Like they just got those. That's huge. They got squat racks. They didn't have those before 10 to 12 years ago. And the Smith machine is good if they don't have free weights. Like I would much rather do a free weight bench press, free weight incline press, but Smith machine is if that's all they have, yeah. Because like you can, and don't get me wrong, like you can grow pretty well on a Smith machine, but that if that's all you have, there's way more efficient and better ways. I would always prefer free weights that are not attached. Then again, my gym tastes are kind of bougie. Actually, no, they're not, because I love like hardcore gyms that they don't even have to be clean, but they just have to have the weights in the right place. They have to have weights, dumbbells that match and that go up to at least 120. They have to go over 100 pounds, at least 120. But I'm lucky that the gyms I work out at, they have dumbbells that go up to 200 pounds. Now, I don't normally pick up the 200-pound dumbbells, but hey, if I get the inkling, the inspiration to go in and pick them up, I can do so. But yes, that would be a great video.
I just want to point out, I've been going to this gym since it opened, probably 3 or 4 years ago. They have never once sounded this alarm.
Oh, I'll change that.
That's your goal.
Like, have you seen the videos? Like, yo, man, if you deadlift in there, they'll come and arrest you. They might arrest you.
Not at this one. People deadlift at this one all the time.
They do?
Yes.
All right.
The free weights don't go as heavy as you need them, but the free weights do go. I think the free weights go over 70 pounds, over probably 75 pounds.
Now, let me ask you this. Do they still have pizza parties?
No.
They don't?
No. The pizza parties were like 20 years ago.
Okay.
And then this is old. This used to be like, they call it the 30-minute circuit.
Yeah.
The beginning of this year, they took all this out, and now it's AstroTurf, like literal like football turf.
Okay.
So you can do like a lot of the running back and forth stuff. They've got the TRX straps here.
See, pretty soon, this isn't even going to be a Planet Fitness anymore. It's Planet Fitness colors, but they're putting in other stuff, making it like a Gold's Gym, basically.
Pretty much.
Or other places, which is good.
But it's still the same big box gym mentality, because I pay $25 a month for access to all Planet Fitnesses. And
that's pretty cheap. That's pretty good.
That only works if 1 in 5 don't show up every day. So I show up knowing that I'm only subsidized by the 4 people who show up here less than once a week but pay the same I do. That I get subsidized by them. But yeah, they tore down this whole wall, so it's one big. And because I recently turned 40 and threw out my back, I spend most of the beginning of the workout over here just stretching a lot before I actually do anything.
Yeah, smart.
But Angelica's like, I think you need to just like, I'd be curious of your opinion of the whole place.
Yeah, I think that could be fun. I could come check it out.
I think I'm not going to defend the brand or all locations. The 2 locations I go to, the Van Nuys location and the North Hollywood location, are very, very good locations.
Okay.
There's a Burbank location and a Studio City location you can absolutely skip. They're too small.
I could be talked into it. I can be talked into checking it out.
I think we're going to have to...
A field trip.
And I think the story you were telling about Randy Orton at the gym looks like that was Little Rock, Arkansas in January 2017.
Okay. Yeah.
The Trim Gym. And it looks like the fan approached and said, "Can I get a picture?" And he gave you a fist bump and said, "Sorry, I can't hear you." And then later, the fan snapped a photo of him later. So, like, sounds like a misunderstanding.
Yeah, and I mean, I understand it. Like, that's another thing too, that it depends on like your gym philosophy. And for a lot of us, and I don't know if this is Randy's too, but for a lot of us, it's like Jake was talking about this, like flipping a switch, where in order to have to push yourself as hard as we need to in the gym, there has to be a certain level of intensity, and it takes a lot. Like you can't just walk in there and just do it and turn it on like that, because like it's almost like a match. Like for me, like I have to be in the right headspace. I have to have my music in. So then it's like a very focused mindset, and it's difficult when people keep coming up to interrupt you and take you out of that. And then, you know, like
I might be wrong, but I think the Octopus just got him. For those who don't know, the Octopus is the fact that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has his tentacles into everything. And when you're talking about something he doesn't want you to talk about, the Octopus gets you. And the Octopus seems to get David when he's talking about stuff. And I think that his computer crashes, and it's the Octopus. So I'll wait for him to text to see if we should shut down the feed, or if he's going to come back. I'll put my mug up here. I know the title thumbnail is very clearly David Otunga and Jake Hager, and I'm neither of those people. And it's Rocktopus. And if you search Rocktopus on Google Images, like you see a lot of 3D printed octopuses with the Rock's head. My theory is his cell phone died, or he got a call he had to take. But like I think he didn't text or email either of us after he kind of dipped. So we'll figure out. We'll figure out what's happening. But when I say Rocktopus, it's because I 3D print occasionally. And in 3D printing, people love to take a model and then they put the Rock's face on that model. And David just texted me Rocktopus. So like you could see the tentacles. The tentacles of the Rock. The Rocktopus is everywhere. Let's have a little fun here. Look up the upcoming SummerSlam card, which right now it's pretty early. How early in August is this going to be? August 1st and 2nd. So we're the 15th. We're only 16 days. I appreciate that very much. I look very young, chest up, seated. These matches are the matches so far. We've got Liv Morgan, Io Sky. Liv Morgan was the champion who faced Io Sky. The Rocktopus got him.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was saying, anyway, yeah, the Rocktopus. But anyway, being in that headspace and, you have your headphones in, and then if somebody wants to come up and talk to you or say hi or whatever it is, I now have to pause my music, take myself out of that headspace, listen to them. And for whatever reason, my earbuds, they won't pause right away. I have to hit it once, twice, whatever it is. I know. But that can be annoying. A lot of times, like, somebody will come up, just want to say hi. Like, there are the times where I'll just give you a quick fist bump too, which basically is saying, hey, I've got my earphones in. Because that's the other thing too, is in the gym, like, you've got headphones in, you can see, like, that there's no rule that, like, you have to stop and talk to people. Like, it should be kind of evident, hey, I have headphones in, or, I'm wearing earphones, you can see, whatever. I don't necessarily want to be bothered right now. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, people should respect that. But there's a fair amount of people who do not respect that. And I can understand Randy's frustration in that, like, he didn't want to stop his music, didn't want to interrupt his workout. He gave you the fist bump. He's being nice. And then the guy goes and takes a picture anyway. Like, that can be annoying because, he kind of already said no on the picture or just bypassed it. And I feel like John Cena had an issue like this too, where people will come up and he was talking about it. Like, he believes in consent, which I understand that I do too. Like, especially when it comes to pictures, is for the most part, like, if I'm not in the middle of a set, if I'm not at a gym, if you ask me for a picture, of course. But there's something about it when, instead of just asking for a picture, somebody will just take it or forcibly take it. Like, when you're not ready, or it's an invasion of privacy. It really is. So I understand how that rubs people the wrong way. There's a certain just level of respect. And I feel like when people just take pictures just forcibly without someone's consent, it's kind of not respecting them as a person. It comes across a little disrespectful, and it doesn't need to be that. Because wait, is this the one where he's saying I love this one. Oh, please play this. I love this one. Isn't it just so pretty? All along there was
John Cena at a cafe and clearly caught off guard when TikToker Harry Daniels ambushes him with his signature shtick. And the interaction, well, Harry himself says the whole thing went haywire as soon as he started singing his rendition of Invisible String by Taylor Swift.
Isn't it just so pretty? All along there was
Nice to meet you. Would you like to sing now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
I mean, the faces say it all. Harry admitting
But put yourself in John's shoes. I think John handled that really well too, because oh my gosh, that would be so annoying. Sitting here quietly, trying not to be bothered. And not only does this person come up, they don't even just ask for a picture or to be quiet and discreet. They're singing and making a whole scene in front of the whole place and recording this too. Like, actually, there's a lot in this, because if you think about this, now you've just put John Cena, you're using him and his IP, potentially the WWE's IP, on his Instagram or TikTok account, whatever it is. Like, you've just made him part of your content without getting his permission. So that could be, I mean, that would be incredibly annoying and disrespectful. And so I think John actually handled this quite well. How do we start with hello? What are you gonna do? You're gonna sing now? And to what end? I love this. I'm so glad that didn't happen to me. I have wild interactions like all the time. Like, I don't even know what I would have done. I suppose I would have sat there and let the guys sing. I don't know. They would have been so uncomfortable.
I've seen a few of these videos with John Cena specifically, and I love his ability to be polite but face conflict, because a lot of people would face a certain level of abuse here so as to not spark a conflict where somebody then gets to say you were mean to them.
Yeah, no, he does a good job. And again, like, you gotta understand, this happens to John Cena a lot. He's John Cena. You know, he was the face of WWE for a long time and still is one of the faces of the company. Will always be. So he's always going to have people come up and I don't even know, try to content farm or whatever you want to call it, or clip farm. That's what that seems like. I didn't realize that guy, that's his shtick. That's what he does. That's his gimmick, is he comes up and just randomly sings to people. But I think John handled that incredibly well. It's just a strange video, and it's not even John that makes it strange. It's this guy. That's just a strange thing to do and makes it incredibly awkward. But I find awkward situations like that hilarious. Like, I love stuff like that, and especially because I'm sure John is extremely annoyed, but he had to be professional and play it cool, and he did. He did a great job. I think he handled that really well.
So Astro Guy 1 is saying that John Cena has said in the past that he's up for people to approach him and even ask them to make some content. He heavily dislikes not being asked beforehand, which I agree with.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, I agree with that too. Like, if you come up to me and ask me, this just happened at the gym probably 2 weeks ago. Somebody, this was a man and a woman. They came up to me and they asked me if they could ask me a couple questions on camera, and they had I forget what it was they're going to ask, but they had some kind of a protein cinnamon roll or something like this, and this was in between sets. And so they said, "Oh, just real quick, it'll take like 30 seconds or something." I said, "Okay, fine." So I said, "All right," we did it. And then the guy, I don't even know if he asked about the protein thing or whatever, but then he gets into, do you think that pro wrestlers can really fight or something like that? I'm like, what? Is not at all what he said we were going to talk about. And then he's like, or do you think bodybuilders can, he didn't know I was a pro wrestler. Do you think bodybuilders can fight? And I said, well, no. I mean, generally speaking, they're probably not the best combat athletes, because that's not what they're trying to do. They're trying to build size and they have bulk. And so, no, I don't think so. And then what I gather from this is then he then was trying to ask me to demonstrate or do some kind of physical combat with him. I'm like, bro, this is not at all what you said we were going to do. No. And I had to tell him, no, I'm not doing that. In fact, I was irritated then because you told me this was only going to take like 30 seconds. Clearly, this is the middle of my set. I'm here at the gym working out. You were here making content or whatever you're doing, not working out. You're trying to sell something or whatever. Like, you need to tell people what they're doing first. I'm doing you a favor by saying yes, that I will do this for you. However, you've not told me the truth, and then puts me in an awkward position. But you have to be assertive enough to say no and to stop. But unfortunately, people try that stuff all the time. But yes, if you come up and you state your intentions clearly and it's not interrupting what I'm doing, I'm more than happy to, generally. Yeah.
I think I'm going to dig for that footage now. like if they released it or not.
That's a good question. That's a good question. I wonder if they did. I haven't seen them at the gym, but then again, I think they just bought a day pass to come in there and try to build content from people.
I don't hate that strategy, to be honest.
No, there's a way to do it, because there's another girl who she comes in and does it, but she does it. It's not as much of a bait and switch, and I don't know. I guess she explains it more or whatever. Also, though, she's never bothered me. I think I look too intense in the gym. Like, we're gonna let that guy do his thing. Yeah. I don't know.
So I think before we close out, I want to bring up where we're headed with the WWE right now.
Okay.
So night 1 and 2 of SummerSlam in Minnesota will be August 1st and 2nd. And so far we have 6 matches announced for both of those nights.
Okay.
Match number 1 is Liv Morgan, Io Sky. I believe Io Sky won Queen of the Ring by last defeating Liv Morgan.
Okay.
Because Liv Morgan, while champion, entered the Queen of the Ring and made it into the finals. I love that storytelling. That's like badass, I can beat you heel. I'm frustrated a little that I think if you're going to be a world champion and enter into a tournament, you need to defend your world championship at every step of that tournament. So that, and like the booking doesn't actually change. The only thing that would change is that Liv Morgan won't have the C heading into this match. It would be Queen Io Sky, who is also world champion, and then heel Liv Morgan's asking for her rematch.
Okay. I can see that. Interesting.
Speaking of King of the Ring getting a world title shot, not for Obafemi.
Yeah. So now tell me, what's the story on this? He won King of the Ring, but then decided, hey, I don't need the world title shot. Is that what happened?
It's unclear, and people are very upset, as they professionally are. But generally, he won King of the Ring, and then the following Monday night, Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman came out and effectively goaded him into having a match at SummerSlam.
Okay.
So as far as I'm concerned, and it hasn't been clarified on television, as far as I'm concerned, Obafemi is still King of the Ring. And as King of the Ring, he still gets a world title opportunity.
Then what's the problem? That's how it should be. He just deferred it.
I don't think it's been clarified on television that he deferred what he earned.
Okay. Yeah, he's going to take care of, have a match with Brock first.
He's 1-1 with Brock. He should absolutely. I think it's just in typical WWE fashion. The story's not told as cleanly as it could, which is to say, I'm King of the Ring, which makes me de facto #1 contender for the WWE Championship. Before I even think about the WWE Championship, I need to think about the fact that I have a rubber match with Brock Lesnar.
So I guess that comes down to, did Oba really need to win King of the Ring? Because if he already had the story with Brock, and he did, and so I think winning King of the Ring is great if there was no Brock Lesnar story. If Brock really had retired and didn't come back, great, make Oba King of the Ring, and that's his gimmick for a while. But I don't think he needs it in the fact that he already has this amazing storyline with Brock. Like, this is building him. And so he doesn't need a championship match. He doesn't even need King of the Ring. That could have been a great opportunity for somebody else. Another talent could have won King of the Ring that, could really use that, who maybe isn't getting quite the push that Oba is. And then that could set up a championship match that would help that talent. But Oba being King of the Ring is great. I'm assuming, well, I shouldn't assume because I don't know. But what I would like to see then is Oba and Brock finish their business, whatever it is. Then Oba, moves on as King of the Ring, gets his title shot, whatever that is. That I guess would make the most sense, though.
I think that makes the most sense too. I just think the They didn't present it that cleanly. Because like right now on television, it's still unclear if he is deferring it or losing it or risking it. And I think that's so much of what happens on WWE's TV can be fixed with like one line of dialogue.
Right.
Of just like, hey, I'm deferring my world title opportunity until after I handle business with Brock Lesnar.
Although maybe the reason, and you're right, maybe the reason it's not cleared up is they're still trying to figure out the direction, or maybe they're not 100% sure the direction they're trying to go after this. So they're just purposely leaving it vague.
Because to the other point, if your current champions are Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and you don't actually want to change that from now to next Mania, which is in Saudi Arabia, you would be doing a disservice to Obafemi by making him number one contender who between now and April has to lose to Roman Reigns or CM Punk.
Right.
That it'd be easier for him to beat Brock and then move on to something else, and then we just never talk about that title shot.
Which might happen. And then, you know, eventually they can bring that back up if they want, oh, by the way, he never used his title shot from King of the Ring.
Right. But they pick it up in a way that they never intended. Because I think where we... And then also, Money in the Bank is October 10th this year. We have a Saturday night's main event that they moved to Sunday. That's September 6th. And then we have another one that's just a tag team match this Sunday. I'm trying to find out. They do the Super Showdown thing in Saudi as well, where both world champions face each other. I forget when that is. But I guarantee you that whenever that is, they're trying to have Roman Reigns, CM Punk championship.
Okay.
So like if we're talking about like long-term booking, that's the matchup that Saudi wants. That's the matchup they want for Saudi.
And when is that supposed to be?
Is it Clash of Champions, Saudi Arabia? It's not Clash of Champions.
I don't know.
Night of Champions. And it was June. It was June last year. So maybe not. No, but that new Night of Champions was also the King of the Ring. So that's not what I'm talking about. I think it happens quite a bit from now, but I think that's big money wise what they want to build to. Not to mention Mania also in Saudi Arabia, that they would want a Punk, like a dream match with Punk versus somebody, a dream match with Reigns versus somebody.
Right.
Lesnar's probably going to retire. They'd do Austin Rock if they could for this Saudi WrestleMania. But
Steve Austin, and
if they could, they can't. But and I say that to say that money's not an object when it comes to these Saudi shows.
Yeah,
it's not when you talk about Austin and when you talk about Rock, it's not just money.
Right.
I wouldn't be if you could get them to make the trip and not wrestle. And I think part of it is both of those guys feel like if they're going to make the trip, if they're going to appear, if they're going to be on the marquee, they'd have to wrestle. And it doesn't matter how much money they're offering. But like what I would love to see is a young and upcoming Rumble winner being backed by The Rock versus an established champ like Punk being backed by Austin. Like I would want, because that's what more than them actually, they would want an appearance more than anything. So I think if you could find a way to pitch something as Austin versus Rock, but it's actually Royce Keys versus CM Punk, or like Solo Sikoa versus CM Punk, that actually works.
Yeah.
So if it's Solo Sikoa versus CM Punk, and then Solo Sikoa is being backed by Dwayne Johnson, and then Punk's being backed by Austin. I don't know. I'm available, WWE. You have my number.
Yeah, no, that'd be interesting. That would be kind of cool. Good.
We got Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. They're talking about this like it's never going to happen again. I mark my words, it'll happen 6 more times before their careers are over.
Yeah.
They're going to have a banger. I think Reigns wins.
Yeah, that's going to be great. I do too.
Penta, Chad Gable. I think this is also going to be a banger, probably of these 6. Like a sleeper for like steals the weekend kind of a match.
I can see that. Yeah, I have very high hopes for this match, and I think it's going to deliver.
I think if Gable goes over, it's because it plays into the AAA plan.
Well, I mean, he should be getting a major push after that.
Yeah.
He's proved himself, man. He's been grinding away for years, so I'm happy to see that.
That mass versus mass match was like one of the best wrestling matches I've ever seen.
Yeah.
That's like,
that.
And then we got Punk, Cody Rhodes. It's going to be a great match. It's actually right now, if you watch the show, like you're kind of trying to figure out who should be the heel. And by that, I mean, who should they turn heel?
Yeah. Yeah. I feel Punk.
Should win, but I also think the broader direction with Cody Rhodes should be more clear of like, if he's QB1, shake hands, kiss babies, he's here for us. He's here for the business. He's here for everyone. At a certain point, like I think we're in a good point with him not being champion and him having a grievance with CM Punk, having a grievance with Sami Zayn before that, and having a grievance that I would love for the character to at least face a moment of soul searching. Because like in poker, they always tell you process over results. So right now, Cody Rhodes is not seeing results, but he's stringently following his process. And in this case, the process is his morality. The process is QB1. The process is number 1 babyface, send him home happy. And like, I would at a minimum love to see narratively Cody Rhodes question his process. Because that at least puts you on the grounds for a heel turn of Cody Rhodes going like, you know what? I've been doing the same thing for a long time and I haven't seen a lot of results. And like maybe that changes him. Like, you know what? Maybe I should grab some tights. Maybe I shouldn't hold true to the idea that I need to earn a number 1 contender spot. CM Punk didn't.
Yeah, that could be cool. Good character development. Yeah.
But those are the 6. And then they have a 6-man tag match with Royce Keys. I'm looking forward to seeing more from William Hobbs.
Yeah, me too.
Royce Keys.
Yeah. High hopes for him. Hope they do some stuff with him. So I'm hoping to see him shine during this match. Yeah.
Those are the 6 matches. Good. And yeah, I think unless Jake Hager's coming back, I think we should probably shut it down.
Yeah, I think we've done it. I don't know. I think his phone died, to be honest.
That's my guess.
Yeah. But yeah, we hit everything we needed to. It was good.
Yeah.
Had great questions. We figured out the tiers of fast food on the road. Yeah, it was good.
We have a whole Wrestler's Court one we're gonna have to get to later now.
Yeah, we'll get to that another time then.
There's AI images and everything.
Oh, I'm excited. Well, everybody will just have to tune in next time then. We'll see. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining. Thank you for contributing. And watch the replay if you missed anything. We will keep this up. And I will see you all on the next Wednesday hang.